In this video, you're going to find out about the end of the chest farming glitch as of August 5th, 2020, and the patch 1.06 for Ghost of Tsushima. But it's not the end of farming glitches, and you can still get plenty of supplies to upgrade all your weapons and armor. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel for the tips and tricks that will allow you to crush Ghost of Tsushima. First things up, so patch 1.06 got rid of the chest glitch, which said that the chest glitch was you could go to the chest, restart, die, or reload, and the chest would be full again, and you could loot it indefinitely. And so that goes for every chest in the game, I believe. Of course, I've not checked every chest, but I've checked at the Traveler's Rest Inn, which was a popular location, Rushing Water Crossing, and a few other places with chests. And once you open the chest, you've got one more looting session with the chests after 1.06, and then it's over. But the good news is that there was a better, faster way to make supplies that I had on this channel, and I'll show you here, is to loot linen from these small houses next to these big houses, both in Act 1 and Act 2. There's these 2 pieces of linen, and they'll drop between 1 and 2 pieces of linen, and they're both blue, and you run past them, loot them, restart from the next checkpoint, and you're good to go. And you should average 45 pieces of supplies. You get 45 supplies because each 3 pieces of linen is worth 15 at any trapper. So you can go to a trapper, sell your linen, and get supplies. That translates into 8 to 10,000 supplies per hour. So in a couple hours of farming, you should get enough supplies to do all your upgrades for the game. You need 480 pieces of linen to upgrade all 8 armor sets completely, all 8 upgradable armor sets. I think there's actually 12 armor sets in the game, but only 8 are upgradable. You also need 1,500 supplies for each. So if you're thinking about kind of your global budget for the game, that you need about 20,000 supplies to upgrade everything. That's the half bow, longbow, the katana, the tanto, and 8 different armor sets. But then you also need other resources that are in your collections menu for those things. So you need bamboo, yew wood, and waxwood for the bow upgrades, which I've told you on this channel that you can do all in Act 1. And you need predator hides for the 11 throwable or ranged items in the game. And then that takes 30 predator hides for all the upgrades each, so total 330 predator hides. And then for the half bow, for example, you need a total of 6 waxwood. You need a total of like 115 yew wood for the half bow upgrade, and this is the half bow upgrade, and you need about 325 bamboo for your half bow upgrade. That's the total for all 5 levels of the half bow upgrade. And you can farm the bamboo and yew wood still. I verified this. Now before you farm the predator hides, which you still can do after 1.06, or the bamboo and yew wood, you want to go to the Arrow Peak Shrine in the Act 1 map, towards the south, towards the middle. That Arrow Peak Shrine is going to be the source of the Charm of Inari. The Charm of Inari is going to increase the number of predator hides you get, yew wood, and bamboo that you loot, and supplies. So I recommend keeping the Charm of Inari on for almost all the game, at least until you've done all the upgrades, because that's going to just make it go much quicker. You can get as much as 100% more bamboo, yew wood, predator hides, and supplies equipping the Charm of Inari. And that still works, right? So you can farm the bamboo and yew wood by restarting the next checkpoint, even at the Arrow Peak Shrine. And that just leaves you with waxwood. You get about 2 pieces of waxwood for each shrine you do. There's usually 1 near the shrine, Shinto shrine, the jumping puzzles, and there's 1 that you get as a reward for completing it, in addition to the charm. And then that leaves you with iron, steel, and gold for the katana, the unfortunate thing about the 1.06 patch was it got rid of the steel farming because the steel farming was through the chests. But you do get a lot of steel when you're clearing bases, and I've said in previous videos that you can't farm gold or iron from glitches. You can only go after Mongol bases, and Mongol bases have a lot of iron. They've got a lot of steel, and they've got even iron, steel, and gold as rewards for clearing them. And I think you'll get a lot that way. But there are also a few trappers who will sell you steel, iron, and gold. So there's one at Komatsu Ford, Asmo Bay. Those are 2 sites within Act 1. There's also a trapper at the survivor camp in the northwest side of the Act 1 map near the coast who also stocks iron. As of 1.06, trappers do not restock their inventory of rare items such as silk, steel, iron, gold, waxwood. Once you buy these rare items from trappers, they're gone. And then in Act 2, the Yarikawa Stronghold, there's a trapper that will sell steel, iron, and gold. And at Yojaku Temple in Act 3, if you're still upgrading by then. But I think you should be able to get done with all your upgrades except for the final upgrade of the katana by the end of Act 1 if you're following our farming strategies. And then there's silk and leather for your armor upgrades. So the armor upgrades take supplies, linen, which we are farming, leather, and silk. Leather and silk, I have a farming location. The only problem is that you have to have not completed the quest associated with it, Whispers in the Woods, but then you can farm unlimited quantities of silk and leather. You should do that all at once. You start this quest, you get midway through it, there's going to be 1 silk, 2 leather. You repeat that at least until you get enough silk. Silk you can get without farming by doing the side quests, but that's going to take you a long time, and so that will delay your armor upgrades. Leather, you loot a lot of leather. I think you might be able to buy it from a few trappers, but not very much. You can buy like silk from Umugi Cove Trapper, and in Yarikawa you can buy silk from him. Jogaku, there's also a trapper that will sell silk. So Umugi is Act 2, and Yarikawa is Act 2, and Jogaku is Act 3. So I recommend doing the silk farming and leather. You need a total of 48 silk for the 8 upgrades, 6 per upgrade, 6 per complete upgrade of an armor set, such as the Samurai Clan armor or the Traveler's Attire armor. You need a total of 30 leather for all the levels of the upgrade for each one of them. So 30 times 8 is 240 leather. You'll get a lot of leather just from looting. If you do this farming strategy, then you'll have all you need if you've not completed the Whispers in the Woods quest where you can farm leather. The update 1.06 on August 5th was a bit of a August 5th, 2020 was a bit of a disaster for people that have been farming chests and haven't completed their farming. I think JorRaptor was wrong in his recent video about 106 to say that this was devastating for people farming supplies. I don't think update 106 should be devastating for farming supplies if you're watching my videos about converting linen into supplies. It's not the end of the world, and you should have unlimited supplies still. If you're farming linen using my strategy, you should be easily able to upgrade all your weapons and armor. Also, I verified that predator hides can still be farmed at, for instance, the Rushing Water Crossing. So if you got the Charm of Inari, go to Rushing Water Crossing. Don't kill anybody in the base. I recommend just jumping around. Wait until at the base they kill the bear. Let them kill the bear for you. There's 2 bears. Loot both those bears. In a little bit of time, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, you should have over 300 predator hides. And if you have too many predator hides, you can always sell them for 10. So that's also a money strategy. But you also need 330 predator hides for all the different weapons you're eventually going to get if you get all the weapons So the longbow is optional. The firecrackers are optional. I wouldn't recommend doing predator hides for money because it just takes too long. And maybe a run takes over a minute, whereas a run should take between 15 and 20 seconds for the linen farming. Unfortunately, you can't sell waxwood, yew wood, gold, or steel to any trappers. You don't want to use those strategies to make supplies, but the linen can be sold to any trapper for a very good price of 15. They sell things for twice what they buy them for, so the linen sells for 30. So when you are doing the linen farming, you want to save back some for upgrades of the armor. So I recommend you check out my video about how to get iron and gold in Act 1 of Ghost of Tsushima so you can upgrade your tanto and your sword. For your tanto, you're going to need 200 iron, and for your katana, you'll need a total of 320 iron to totally upgrade. I think you can totally upgrade your katana up to level 6, but not level 7 because of the lack of gold in Act 1. But once you get to Act 2, you're going to have plenty of iron and gold. And then you can totally upgrade your tanto, which is your assassination dagger. I totally recommend doing that in Act 1. So, of course, you prioritize the katana upgrades up to level 6. Still, you should upgrade your tanto soon after that, and you should have a totally upgraded tanto by the end of Act 1. I think the evidence is that most people are not upgrading their katana, so the trophies show that 74% of players recently had not totally upgraded their katana, and quite a lot more had made it to Act 2. So most had made it to Act 2, but most had not upgraded their katana. Don't be a statistic. Subscribe to this channel and you'll totally upgrade your katana and get the trophy. I'm Linus Wilson. Good luck, Samurai.